Um, What's up, everyone? Thank you for stepping into Diana's room. If this is your first time here, please click on the subscribe button, like my videos, check it out, and share with anyone you think might like what I'm doing, okay? I don't mind my eye right now. I filmed a video for this eye, so if you'd like to see that, just stick around. I'll link it somewhere. If it comes out after this one or before this one, you shall see it one day, okay? So with all that being said, this video is going to be a detailed highlight and contour tutorial, especially for round faces, because I have a round face, but it can also work for any other person, because the illusion we are all trying to create with this contour thing is to get an oval face. So if you have oval face, you're definitely God's favorite, because child, this world was made for you. You don't have to go through all this stress if you really don't want to. But for us with big wide faces, we have to contour, okay? We need to eliminate the cheeks, eliminate the forehead, eliminate all these guys, okay? So with all that being said, let's go straight into this video. So today I'm actually going to be using a primer. I know, long time no see, but yes, I'm going to be using a primer in this video because my skin is being naughty. So yeah, let's go in with this primer right now. I usually blend out my primer with my hands, but today we're going to be using a brush because I really just don't feel like touching anything, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and conceal under my eye and my spots areas. Sorry, I forgot to mention the foundation I'm using is Laurel True Match. I love this foundation. It gives such a natural finish and it's super hydrating, so I love it. And the coverage isn't too bad as well. So now that we're done with foundation, it's time to move to the main event, okay? If you keep feeling like you can hear Shekere, don't worry, it's just me.
It's Shakira in my head.
Don't be afraid, baby, it's just me. So to start, you guys already know what time it is. I'm going with my favorite highlighting concealer, Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. So when you're highlighting, you want to get the part of your face that the light hits. So it's your T zones that you want to get. So that is your under your chin, your Cupid's bow. I mean, everybody wants a Rihanna Cupid's bow, so you have to kind of emphasize that part of your face. So you do your Cupid's bow, then you do your nose bridge, and then under your eyes. So that is your T zone, and those are the parts you want to emphasize. You can count how many people's forehead from this man one forehead. So for the most part, you want to hide. So I'm just going to highlight just this part. To highlight under my eyes, the best way to go about it, especially for your face shape, if you're confused, just use your nose bridge, like kind of a right angle triangle turned upside down in a way, if that makes any sense. So you just kind of want to take it along your nose bridge. My trick with highlighting is from when I'm done blending it, it has to already look like I've done my contour, then you know you've done the right thing, because the right part of your face is already popping and the part you want to hide is kind of already hidden. So after you take this down your nose bridge, That is one part, and then you take the other part along your where your eye stops. I like to do mine in an upward motion because my eyes, I already kind of have cat eyes naturally, so I just like to emphasize that. So once you've done this, you already have the clear picture of where you want to highlight. So whatever your face shape may be, you can actually work with this. Just draw a line like this as I've done, and then take it this way, and then you can just kind of go from there. And then when you want to blend it down, make sure it doesn't go into your cheek area, because you don't want to emphasize your cheek or your cheekbone. Your highlighter would do that for you, so don't take your concealer into that. Just blend it a bit down. I kind of like to blend a bit as I go with my concealer brush. So yes, this is the shape. It's kind of like a triangle. I don't know if it's a right angle triangle, but yeah, if you guys kind of, you guys can see, so you know what I'm talking about. So we're just going to do the same thing that I've done on this side and this side. I'm going to go ahead and blend with this old Real Technique brush. As you can see, I'm pressing the product in to just kind of give it a more seamless look. I'm not swiping it off. We're going to blend out under the eye now, and like I said, I've just learned how to use my brush. In the smaller intricate parts, I use the tip. Can you guys see how really bright under my eye is and how well blended everything is? Like, even though it's way lighter than my skin, like it still looks like it still looks really seamless from my skin. Like, it's just really lovely. So that's it for highlights. Everything is properly blended in, and as you can see, the parts that are highlighted are really like screaming at you, and my face already looks a lot slimmer than when I started. Can we get into this eye? Contouring is about hiding and defining. So I'm basically going to define and hide some parts that I want to create an illusion, like to make it look smaller, or to put a shadow there to make it less obvious. That is the point of contouring. So I'm going to use this to define my face, my cheekbone. These are the areas you really want to define. For any face shape, you really need to get your cheekbones, okay? If you have a round white face like I do, you can kind of bring it upwards in this way to kind of eliminate some of your cheeks. But ultimately, the point is to define your face. And now we're going to go into the jawline, like having a defined jawline. So I kind of like to do this. So my chin into my jaw is a lot more defined. So this is just the application process. I've not started blending or anything, so don't be afraid. Can you all see that? I've kind of created a shadow. And it's kind of hiding something. From this angle, it makes me look more compared to this side where there's nothing. And then, but from the side, it makes everything look a lot sharper. Like, look at how sharp it looks, even though I haven't blended it out compared to this side. We're going to move on to the forehead. So this forehead is mostly hiding, okay? It's not really defining anything, you're mostly hiding. So I'm mostly going to hide this my big ass forehead because it really just do be all over the place. I like to give a contour effect at this side of my face, just to kind of, it pinches the face in a way, it adds to the whole overall illusion. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to apply to my nose. So you want to make your nose slimmer, but it's just unrealistic when there's just like a stick going down the middle of your nose. Like, it's super realistic. So when you're contouring your nose, you can kind of measure it from where your eyebrow starts. That way, just take a straight line down. That way you're getting a realistic shape, because that's how it's supposed to go. So I'm just going to take a line now from my eyebrow down, and I'll show you another trick to making it a lot slimmer when blending. That's a realistic nose bridge, and I like to kind of round it off. I kind of like to round it off at the bottom here. Then also contour these lines, because I'm trying to make my nose look smaller. My nose really has different dimensions, so yeah. And then for the Rihanna Cupid's bow, okay, let's just go in with this. Bam. So everything is a lot more defined and hidden. So mostly for the forehead, you're trying to hide. This is mostly the definition it makes, because it kind of gives, if you look in this area of my face, it already looks a bit oval, and then kind of a lot more sucked in than I was at first. So yeah, that is the whole point of contouring. Fun fact, this was the brush that turned me into a brush girl, and it has just always stuck with me, and I love it so much. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be using to blend out this contour. So I'm going to start from the chin area, I'm going to start from the chin to jaw area. I'm just pressing it in. I'm just going to blend here. Just keep the same energy. See how seamless everything is looking, and how snatched my face is getting. Like, bro. The forehead, I'm mostly trying to hide most parts of my forehead, which is the idea. So it doesn't matter that there's a lot of darkness there. Yep, that's the stuff right there. To blend out my Cupid's bow, I'm going to be using this smaller fluffy brush, just to press in. Okay, so my trick for this nose bit is, when you're blending, do all your blending towards the inside. That kind of creates more of a skinny illusion, like when you blend it in. Rather than blending it out, you're kind of defeating the purpose. But when you blend it in this way, and it's just a tap, I'm just tapping it in, you're kind of bringing it in closer to create a smaller nose, rather than blending it out or rubbing it off. So we'll just go ahead and do the same thing on this side and blend it inwards. And boom. This is basically the basis of highlighting and contouring, especially for a round face. But you can kind of go through the same process I did to get your own face shape. So let's move on to setting the highlights and the contour now. To set my highlights, I'm using Sacha Buttercup powder. So I'm going to be using this little sponge thingy to apply it, and I'm basically just placing everywhere I've highlighted before. And I like to do under this place because it kind of intensifies the contour that's been done there before. You can do this with your cream concealer, but I really don't like to do it with my cream concealer because I don't know, I just don't like to. I don't need the line to be that intense. So I just rather do it with my setting powder, and I bring it all the way in for a more pulled and snatched look. So we're going to move under the eye now in the same motion in which we apply the concealer That's how we're going to roll with this. I'm going to be using this sharp angle of it to apply on my nose, just for more precision. It doesn't really matter honestly, but I like to do that. Now that we've applied the setting powder for the highlights, you can choose to let it bake for a couple of minutes, but I don't like to do that, so I'm just going to dust this off immediately. But I like to bake a bit under my eyes, so I'm going to leave that in there for a little, well, till I'm done applying my contour setting. I'm snatched, like snatched. Kind of just blend it out a little bit and then leave the rest in there to do its thing. Let's move on to setting the contour now. I'm using this Ben Nye translucent powder in Ebony to set my contour, and then I'm just going to use very little amount because I don't like when my contour is too dark, so I'm going to blow on the brush just to dust off a lot of it before applying. Same brush we used to blend out the contour, we're going to apply around the nose for a little more precision. Ooh. Whose nose is that? Certainly not mine. Now that we've done all that and the face is pretty much snatched to the gods and completely seamless, I'm just going to dust off the rest of this powder, and yeah, so this is basically it. Contour 101. This is all that goes into it. This is the application process. This is really all that goes into it, but I've been contemplating if I should do the rest of my face on camera or whether to not do it on camera, because I've kind of gotten to the point of why we're here. But one certain spirit is telling me to just finish, so I'm going to go in with my finishing powder. It's LA Girl Pro Face HD powder. I'm just going to use that to marry my whole face, my neck and everywhere, for a way more seamless look. So now that I'm done with my finishing powder, I'm going to move on to blush. Just kind of work your way into the cheek. And now you're blushing. We're going to move on to highlighter. I'm using the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. A decent amount. A little bit on the chin for a little pizzazz. This is basically all it is for contouring, highlighting, and then finishing the makeup. Okay, so now we're going to spray the face. Okay guys, while this is drying, let me just go and finish the rest of my face off of camera, and I'll be right back, okay? So here we are with a full face slay with our contour and highlight. Like, bro, I'm not the girl you used to know. I am snatched as fuck. Don't mind me, guys. But anyway, this is basically it for highlighting and contouring. This is all you need to know, all you need to get. You just need about 3 shades darker than your skin tone to contour, and about 2 to 3 shades lighter to highlight. And then get yourself a blush, get yourself bronzers to just kind of add to the effect. Just look how well everything marries together with my skin, you know, jawline looking extra slim. Everything is just popping in their own right, and like, y'all need to get into this look. Like, get into it, okay? Definitely owe whoever started highlight and contouring, because this change the game. Like, look at this, for God's sake. Like, I don't look like this. Yeah, guys, this is it for highlighting and contouring. Let's not forget, you're beautiful just the way you are. You don't need to change anything, but if you can enhance it with makeup, I mean, why not? Like, it's just fun to play makeup, and it's just really interesting to see yourself transform, and, you know, and see your face in a more defined structure. So yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope you incorporate highlighting and contouring into your makeup if you haven't already started. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, let's get it together.